What's going on, everybody? We are starting Truth Will Set You Free in just about 30 seconds. It is February 16th, episode number 39. So thank you guys for being patient. We're getting started. We've got Blake backstage. Suni is on the way. Jay, I don't think is going to make it. He might. We'll see if he jumps in or not. Tonight, we are talking about the fallout from the impeachment, where to go from here, consistent division by the media, and, of course, the deep freeze in the South, which is where I am right now. I'm watching Blake backstage be a complete asshat. So, anyways, let's get started. With Truth Will Set You Free. Go ahead and share this out. We're going to have a discussion. We're going to try to talk about things from all different angles, all different sides, even though we, of course, invite our liberal or Democrat friends all the time. And, of course, for some odd reason, posting in comments is about where they stop. What's going on, everybody? We got Blake Veglia from Prime Time Patriots. What's going on, Blake? How you doing?
I'm just chilling. Get it?
Because it's cold everywhere. Got it. That was very, very smart. I'm currently as close as I can be to the router, so if I have any lag or if there's anything weird, I apologize in advance. But the house I live at in outside of Dallas is without power. We've got no power anywhere we go. So this house just happens to be as far off the grid as humanly possible. And as you guys know, I have mediocre internet. It's not that far off the grid, but let's just be honest. The fastest upload speeds out here, I can typically run faster. So go ahead and share this episode out. We tried having some people from with opposing viewpoints come on, like we always like to do. Truth Will Set You Free. Did not work out. Before we get started with the show, Cash, we'll give updates on Cash. I see all you guys in the comment box. See, yeah, somebody else. Lisa, I'm in outside Dallas area. So damn wind and turbines. We're going to talk about that. We might have a couple different viewpoints just between Blake and I and you guys out there as well. Also, if you guys notice, I've put something on the bottom in terms of instead of doing super chats, I actually switched over all of the Venmos, PayPals, etc. to be the change. If you want to support us, we would love that. You don't have to. You can just listen, share as much as possible. But we don't want to give any more money to YouTube, Google, etc. So if you could, the support means our Venmo and Cash App. And also, you guys can check out, we do have Cash's shirts back for sale, which all the proceeds are going to Erica Cash's legal team fund, which, again, I'll give some updates shortly. But we've got these free cash for change in black and in red. And, of course, the Be The Change logo with free Cashley Kelly on there as well. If you are interested in those shirts, we're going to have you guys go to #BeTheChange.com and go ahead and shop. Be the change. Also, with that, as we all know, as Blake can tell you with Primetime Patriots, we never know when we're going to lose our ability to go live. So please be a subscriber on #BeTheChange.com. So the best way to do that is you'll just go on there. It'll give you a box and make sure that you put your email in so we can stay with you guys and alert you guys for any changes or where to find us. Or even if we embed, for example, when Primetime Patriots app comes out, we'll be able to shoot you guys a message there so you can find it. All of our other links, go to our Linktree /BeTheChangeUSA. That's got some Primetime Patriots stuff. That's got all their different handles, most of their different handles, as well as all of our Be The Change stuff as well. If you want to write letters to Cash, do it at helpcashkelly@gmail.com if you want to write those letters. Simple as that. Blake, any updates you have right now with PTP? Anything going on?
Anything new? I know that there was a thing today, I think it was in Barcelona, about a rapper or artist that was, I guess, put in jail. Now there's riots in the streets all over Barcelona. I feel like there's riots everywhere. I mean, a lot of the news today was Donald Trump's speech, which Kaylee went on PTP a little bit earlier and talked about what he said about Mitch McConnell. It's Mitch with a B. If you don't hear me right, Mitch with a B.
Did Trump say that, or did you say that?
I'm pretty sure Trump wanted to say it. What else? The latest thing today, Veritas, which I might be able to pull up here in a little bit. Veritas released a video of Mark Zuckerberg released, if you get kicked off Facebook now for anything about saying anything about the vaccine, you'll get kicked off. But he went on there and says that on the Veritas video of leaked information saying that they don't know if it's going to impact or affect the DNA or mRNA of an individual. So who knows? He's allowed to say it, but if he was a member of his own platform, he would be fine.
Or if you're Kennedy got pulled as well. So Kennedy got pulled from Instagram for saying stuff like that. Crazy. Somebody asked real quick if your ears are cold with your new haircut, Blake.
Actually, no. So it's actually been pretty decently mild temperatures here in Ohio. You guys are dying. I mean, it's supposed to be, I think, hold on, let me see. It's supposed to be 7 degrees tonight, but that's the lowest it's been all year. And it's supposed to be back up in the mid-20s tomorrow. So, I'm good. Y'all, wherever y'all live, that's on you.
I heard you guys got about 8 inches of something last night.
I measured. I went out and measured.
All right, moving on.
And it for sure was 8 inches, let me tell you.
Tomorrow night, I got an episode of Changemakers. I'm going to try to find a slightly better internet connection for that one. So we've got the group of Breakthrough Accelerator coming on, which is a very cool group that I'm with, that Be the Change is a part of, where we are essentially in the capital raise fund portion for Be the Change. And these people they're a group that literally is finding businesses that are doing good and trying to put money in those hands. So they're going to be on and telling us more about their missions, their backgrounds, all that good stuff as well. So that'll be tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern time, 5 o'clock Central. So make sure you join us for that. With that said, let's go ahead and get the show started. So, of course, another week, another what the heck else could happen in this country causing division. I don't fully know where to begin. Clearly, we're, of course, as I mentioned, going to discuss the saga of the impeachment that was 100% part of an early election ploy against Trump for 2024, perpetrated with the help of neurolinguistic programming, also known as NLP, to make things seem a way they really weren't, to continue to divide. You have a member of the impeachment committee, Castro, blaming a technicality on why Trump was acquitted that technically he referenced the Constitution. That technicality? Yes, the Constitution. Look, you can argue the positives and negatives of both cases in the impeachment. Absolutely. Problem is, it has nothing to do with impeachment. It has to do with another way to portray Trump and his supporters as viable, despicable deplorables. It's like you lost, but you didn't lose bad enough. So let's continue to program the American public to hate you, hate each other. Let's show the 3 worst examples of Trump supporters in an impeachment hearing like we're watching Jimmy Fallon's Man on the Street segment. It's absolutely absurd at this point. The ultimate horse and pony show, and worse yet, it's with our tax dollars. Even worse than that is people don't understand that our tax dollars, yes, does pay for the impeachment. The argument goes, well, they don't get paid extra. It's just part of their job. Maybe that's the problem in the United States of America, that our country has forgotten that time is money, and we've forgotten that there could be other things getting done by Congress and by the Congress workers that we pay and that we elect that are on these committees. So the impeachment is over, yet now they're finding other ways to press charges, a continued assault, because he used the words fight like hell, ignoring what the other side has said that actually use directly confrontational words. But hey, common sense is not the prevailing standpoint in this day and age. You can also look back on the election and, take away the issues we consistently bring up with our own direct examples of voter F, ignoring those and even moving past that. And look at the way the media has fought the battle for him. This is what I started thinking about. The more I talk to people from the Latino and Black community that are politically educated and don't use terms like screw Biden, he's dumb, or F Trump, he's a racist, but those that actually have started to pay attention to policy and avoid the bullshit, they are actually Trump supporters. Not all of them, but large numbers of them. So then you start to wonder, what if the media let the bleeding heart white liberals see this? Would the election have been the same? Would the division have been the same? It seems as though white guilt formulated by the media portrayal that Trump is destroying poor people, mostly those that are minorities, is the reason why Trump may have been overcome in this election. What if reporting was fair? Would Biden have stood a chance? I don't think so, but that's my complete and utter honest opinion. With that said, let's have some COVID that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk impeachment and the frigid temps across the country, why I'm wearing a jacket inside. So let's start talking about some truths here on Truth Will Set You Free.
Suni's here.
I see her. Jeez. God, brought her up. Hi, Suni.
Hello.
Look at you all blue and gray.
What's up?
I just read the private chat. You guys are funny. Went on a rant through my open. So with that said.
Oh my gosh, Debbie, I'm from Akron, Ohio.
So?
All right, let's talk impeachment a little bit. I know you guys have covered it a bunch. Now that the impeachment is over, now I'm having some of my liberal friends make comments. Worked a long day, too tired. Never mind. If there is any liberal voices that want to come on, please let me know. I'll look for comments in the box. I know Nikki's probably watching as well. If we see any comments of people that want to join and have an opposing viewpoint, we can go from there. Let's go ahead and let's not start with impeachment. Let's start about the cold temperatures. I feel like I might have a slightly different opinion than some of you guys. What do you guys think in terms of renewable energies? What's going on in Texas, where I am? Suni or Blake, what do you got?
I got something funny.
Oh God, I'm scared.
I'm scared too.
I'll let him go. I said, boom. It's cold in here. There must be some turtles in the atmosphere.
Okay.
Bird.
Yes. So do you think that the green and the renewables and all the issues with the wind turbines is truly driving the issues we're having here in Texas with this massive winter storm?
No. This is Mother Nature. Let God do what God is doing. I think they try to engineer weather, but I don't think they fully control it. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
I just think it's super funny that they're using this. But here's the thing that's scary. If we become solely dependent on these renewable energies, that's the scary thing moving forward. So like they're using helicopters that are using fuel that are made from steel, that are made from all of these things, and are spraying these chemicals that are manufactured onto these things to make it's stupid.
They're dumb.
So that is a big thing. Like we're talking about the wind turbines freezing up and the percentages of the actual. So here's the issue. Obviously in Texas, we've got a lot of oil and gas. So we actually we people from other states surrounding us outsource our resources. So we give them away so that we can use the cheapest form, such as the wind turbines. Problem is they're not working. But ultimately, I do think that this is, although I think exactly what Blake said is very valid, same with Suni. If we completely switch to the wind turbines, if we switch completely green, we're screwed. If we switch to one and don't have a balance, we're screwed either way. But to think that this is strictly because of green renewables is also, it's actually the Democrat ploy being done by the Republicans, like never let a whatever go to waste, tragedy go to waste.
I'm bringing out the mic. I'm bringing out the mic that's not even connected to the computer.
Of course not.
But I'm reporting live here from Texas. I just want to do a little recap for you guys. We're going to be transitioning to completely renewable energy. In order to do so, we're going to for one wind turbine. We're going to need 103 tons of stainless steel, 402 tons of concrete, 6.8 tons of fiberglass, 3 tons of copper, and 20 tons of cast iron. But hey, it's renewable. Stupid. It's stupid. This is literally stupid. Make America think again is literally all about this. think again. Why is it so hard? Oh my God. I can
Because
tell you
people are so used to the government having all these things under control. Well, the government's got it. We ain't got to worry about it. The government. Oh, they have a department for that. They're about to get screwed. Half of America they have already been scared into submission.
They about to lose their job.
They believe any and everything, bro. This is the most asinine shit I've ever heard.
There was an article that somebody posted on my wall about it earlier that was pretty much, it was protecting the renewables. And fortunately, and he took the article down once we both really read through it. And it's funny because it actually just, it's the epitome of the way that the government and the media portrays things to us. It literally said, everybody thinking that it's got all this to do with the green stuff is wrong because it's wrong. They never actually gave a fact. They didn't actually prove their point. They literally just gave their opinion and moved on. And it was clear in the article, but it really is. It's got nothing to do with green energy. It's got nothing to do with oil and gas in this case. It's literally the worst weather we've seen in decades.
What do you do? What do you do though? Like when the wind turbines do freeze, and what do you do when the solar panels are covered in snow? Do you just let people die?
Yes, that's exactly what they're gonna do. They have no plan. If everything goes to shit, I don't think they have a plan. Everyone's just going to be praying at that point. They don't. Oh my God, I hate our government. I swear I do. And I hate the people that just fall into it.
Lie. You can just pull a Cuomo and lie.
And then get an Emmy.
I forgot to even put that on the docket. What's that?
Joanna, hold on. Joanna said we've got to get the facts out to people. Joanna, we do this for a living, bro, and people don't give a flying fuck because some of these people are completely brainwashed and people don't think. I swear to you, nobody uses their brain anymore. Like nobody.
You know
it's
what they
rare.
do? They go, oh my God, did you see what CNN said? And then I confirmed it with the NPR. Like, bro,
Katie, I'm confused. Why are you disappointed in? We're essentially calling out. We're calling out both sides. We don't believe Republicans are altruistic and perfect. It's not all about. It's not all about Green New Deals and green. I mean, the Green New Deal sucks. Let's be very clear. But like in the case of what's going on in Texas, we've never seen temperatures like this for this long. It's the first time in a lifetime that there was a winter weather a freeze advisory or whatever for every county and state of Texas. That's going to weigh heavy on everything and anything. It's just the way it is. However, we are seeing that if we were strictly stuck on renewable energies and the turbines, et cetera, we would be absolutely screwed. So I'm very confused what the issue is that we have.
Do you know that every time a coal plant closes here in America, 4 are built in China? Every one that is taken down here, there are 4 that are built in China. The 2 leading contributors of carbon emissions that is the whole thing.
Hold up. She said we seem intoxicated. I think you're watching us way too fucking hard because nobody here has had a single drink. And if you're disappointed because you think we're intoxicated, then I don't know what to tell you. This is who I am.
Honey, I'm not intoxicated. I'm reporting to you and letting you know I'm high on life.
Oh my God, bro. People are miserable. Holy shit. I don't even want to be on here now.
This is my baseline, honey. This is it. Ask Suni. I'm like this all the time. I must be drunk every day.
No, I mean, I might seem like intoxicated because my internet lags. Maybe that's it. And this, by the way, is an energy tea. So that's no alcohol here
right now. And I think I'm gonna go get a White Claw.
Oh my gosh.
No laws of White Claw.
Guess what? This is a commentary show. I'm not showing up for a business interview.
Hey Blake,
gosh, man.
Kelly just said he would drink White Claw. Oh, hey guys, we got a special surprise. Cash is calling in.
Nice.
So I didn't let you guys know, but there's a chance Cash would be calling. We'll see how this works. Can you hear it at all?
Here's to you, Katie.
Oh, like let me hit the bit. This is the blunt for me. Since you said I'm intoxicated, I'm gonna go ahead and hit it one time.
Yo, Cash. What's going on? We got Blake and Suni on right now. We're talking a little bit about the deep freeze in Texas and renewable energies, and we're about to talk impeachment. So, what do you want to say to everybody?
Impeach Joe Biden.
He's the one that caused the dark winter. Is that what you just said?
Yes.
He did say it's so. We brought up that it's President's Day yesterday, and it was the coldest President's Day on record. And he did talk a lot about a dark winter. So I feel like he manifested this.
Yes, he did. He definitely did. And I've noticed. I think he meant something different about the dark winter though, because I've seen a lot of pro-black commercials lately. I'm talking about Comcast. I'm talking about Black History. I'm talking about Google saying Google Black owned. Just all types of stuff. So maybe dark winter is actually pro-black.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's it. Suni, can you hear Cash well enough? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Hi, Cash.
Let's see. Let's see.
Can I get a video visit? I'm about to interrupt right quick. I'm gonna interrupt this phone call. Can I get an approved video call like today?
Those are only for me and Cash.
Okay.
Oh, you tried it.
Until 8 you gotta do that. Like tell her to schedule it right now for what time is it?
It's 7:40 Central Time.
All right, tell her to schedule it for 8 o'clock.
She's got to be on the show at 8 o'clock. How about 8:15?
Let me try it. I'm on lockdown, so I'm only gonna be out until about 8:15, 8:30ish, the latest.
All right, so do 8 o'clock. We don't need Suni anyways.
Tell Sony to try to call in right now and see what happens.
Suni, try to call in right now. See what happens.
So hit visit
She's
now.
trying right now. Yeah, try visit now.
Ask Cash if he.
Go ahead, Blake.
Ask Cash if he wants me to log into his OnlyFans and run it until he gets back. Because, they'll never notice.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that, Cash?
He said if I want him to log into my OnlyFans and run it, because they would never notice.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. He's
Well, unless he's got something bigger than 8 1/4 and heavily round, they're gonna notice. It's got to be brown too.
Is that a thing to if you darken the color of your downstairs, is that like another version of blackface?
It depends on whose face it's in.
Suni is saying it's not going through.
Waiting on him.
Just try to schedule it for 8 or 8:15. We'll get started with the rest of the show. If you guys want to send letters to Cash, I'm going to go ahead and put it up real quick on the bottom. Go ahead and send it to where is it? Help Cash Kelly at G. What's that? Yeah, you're on a show right now. It's Truth Will Set You Free. I know you don't know the days of the week when you're in the joint, but it's Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Well, truth is, I'm being held captive as a political prisoner. My whole trial was about the Capitol riot. It had nothing to do with anything. And I'm appalled. I mean, I'm really not a nigga named Paul, but I'm just saying, it was messed up.
Oh, man. You guys are nuts.
Was that funny?
Yeah, that was pretty good. That was a good Concert Avengers joke. I like it. All right, so here's the deal. While you're on here, Cash, for the next 2 minutes, any comments coming through I'll go ahead and read them off to you. So if you guys want to say something to Cash, I know a lot of people already have, but now is the time to do it. Go ahead and put some comments in there. Let's see. Shirley K says, let's see. My friend Pensacola is watching, and he says Cash shirts are in town. We love. Oh goodness, that was a bad idea on my part. All right, here we go. Bella says we love you, Cash. Denise says we miss you, Cash. Denise Larson says, can we write him in jail? So that's it's on the screen right now. Tammy, we love you, Cash. Sweet Mother Mary. Tim Groves, I miss you, man. We love you, Cash. Tammy Welch, Denise Larson, and sorry, Liz Wizanowski. Hi, Cash. Maddie D says we miss you bigly. Kathy Richardson said she's praying for you. Marla Urbanex says love you, Cash. Terry Peterson, we love you. Brittany Funch is praying for you. Rossman Media, Cash, I miss talking with you. Suni, what's the matter? Is it not allowing you to take it, or is it pending?
It's pending.
It's pending. Go ahead and confirm it, Cash. Let's see. Oh, goodness, crikey.
I just got out. Tell everybody I just got out right now, and I am about to jump on. I got a couple phone calls I got to make, and I have to go ahead and accept that video request. Unite, don't fight, be a street fight. Only you can be the change in which see the world. Get too stressed out. We're going to pray back because without God, everything falls apart. Trump 2024. I don't care nobody. Biden president. Yes,
Oh my God.
All right, later, Cash. Take it easy. All right. Okay, that was funny. Let's see. All right, let's go back to work real quick because I know Suni's going to try to head out real fast. So let's talk impeachment. Let's skip off the cold winter turbines and apparently thinking that we're drunk. Blake, come back on the screen. Is Katie still mad at us?
What did Katie say now?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
Somebody's
bro.
mad at her.
Katie,
Maybe that was an old comment. I don't know.
you just ruined the vibe.
That was so good.
All right. Let's talk impeachment. I want to bring this up real quick. Blake, will you go ahead and hit play for us here?
Okay, say please.
Please, Blake.
Say please, Daddy.
Blake.
Oh my God. Press play.
Here, of course, former President Trump was completely denied any such opportunity. And it turns out there is significant reason to doubt the evidence the House managers have put before us. Let me say this clearly. We have reason to believe the House managers manipulated evidence and selectively edited footage. If they did, and this were a court of law, they would face sanctions from the judge. I don't raise this issue lightly. Rather, it is a product of what we have found in just the limited time we have had since we first saw evidence here with you this week. We have reason to believe that the House managers created false representations of tweets, and the lack of due process means there was no opportunity to review or verify the accuracy. Consider these facts. The House managers, proud of their work on the snap impeachment, staged numerous photo shoots of their preparations. In one of those, Manager Raskin is seen here at his desk reviewing two tweets side by side. The image on his screen claims to show that President Trump had retweeted one of those tweets. Now, members of the Senate, let's look closely at this screen, because obviously Manager Raskin considered it important enough that he invited the New York Times to watch him watching it. Now, what's wrong with this image? Actually, there are three things very wrong with it. Look at the date on the very bottom of the screen on Manager Raskin's computer screen when we zoom into the picture. The date that appears is January 3rd, 2020, not 2021. Why is that date wrong? Because this is not a real screenshot that he's working with. This is a recreation of a tweet, and you got the date wrong when you manufactured this graphic. You did not disclose that this is a manufactured graphic and not a real screenshot of a tweet. Now, to be fair, the House managers caught this error before showing the image on the Senate floor, so you never saw it when it was presented to you. But that's not all. They didn't fix this one. Look at the blue check mark next to the Twitter username of the account retweeted by the president. It indicates that this is a verified account, given the blue check by Twitter to indicate it is run by a public figure. The problem? The user's real account is not verified and has no blue check mark, as you can see. Were you trying to make her account seem more significant, or were you just sloppy? If we had due process of law in this case, we would know the truth. But that's not all that's wrong with this one tweet. House Manager Swalwell showed you this tweet this week, and he emphasized that this tweet reflected a call to arms. He told you repeatedly that this was a promise to call in the cavalry for January 6th. He expressly led you to believe that President Trump's supporter believed that the president wanted armed supporters at the January 6th speech, paramilitary groups, the cavalry, ready for physical combat. The problem is, the actual text is exactly the opposite. The tweeter promised to bring the Calvary, a public display of Christ's crucifixion, a central symbol of her Christian faith, with her to the president's speech, a symbol of faith, love, and peace. They just never want to seem to read the text and believe what the text means. You'll see this reported in the media last evening also. Words matter, they told you, but they selectively edited the president's words over and over again. They manipulated video, time-shifting clips, and made it appear the president's words were playing to a crowd when they weren't. Let's take a look.
After this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down to the Capitol. But I think right here, we're going to walk down to the Capitol. And we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them, because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong. We have come to demand that Congress do the right thing. And
we're going to play about one more minute of this.
Who have been lawfully slated.
I was going to say I'm bored.
Lawfully slated.
I know that
we got the gist. Here will soon be marching over to the Capitol.
He did a great job explaining literally like the just absolute failure for any honesty coming from that side. He talked a lot about the issues involving where they edited the clips, where they fought the clips, and where they took away. And it destroyed their case in about 20 minutes in terms of the case for impeachment. And any time in a court of law when you're literally making up graphics, it's mind-boggling. So, anyways, you guys have talked a lot about the impeachment. What did you guys end up thinking about it? Now that it's well passed, yet we suddenly
that the Democrats are mentally unstable, and I'm talking about the House Democrats and the 6 Republicans that were on board with this. I think it's kind of insulting to Americans for them to do this and think that they would get away with it, like doctoring evidence, not showing full clips. But people are falling for it, but I just think it's insulting that you would do it at that high of a level to impeach a private citizen over inciting violence when he really did not incite any violence. But you did it all 2020. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's just me. It's just insulting to my intelligence that people would actually do this. Like, that's weird. That's like punching me in the face, and then I'm like, fuck, why'd you just hit me? And they're like, I didn't even hit you. What are you talking about? You didn't feel that punch at all. So shut up. It's pretty much what you're telling everybody. That's how I took it. I felt like it was a huge waste of time. I really didn't pay much attention to it except for like important clips, because it's dumb. It's a waste of taxpaying dollars. We did this for nothing. You knew he was not going to be convicted. So why even do it?
Suni, can you better explain why it's a waste of tax dollars? Because some people don't understand that. Had a lot of those comments in my feed, all people which I invited to be on the show. Of course, they wouldn't come. But the question goes, but they're not getting paid overtime for it. So why is it a waste of tax dollars? It's not like it goes to the impeachment. Explain the common sense behind that, Suni, to make America think again for us.
First of all, the footage that they show you, all the stuff that we see every day, that's tax dollars. For them to even have a press conference, that's tax dollars. For them to even, you have to pay for certain stuff in law, like paperwork that you need. Like you need this department to do this. That's tax-paying dollars. It all goes into it. The same way when you go get a lawyer and you need to go pay court costs and everything else, they're not paying for that out of their own fucking pockets. That's our tax dollars, and they literally wasted it on like this is a sham. It's a farce. I don't understand why more people aren't irritated. Like, why did you just waste all this money on this? We can't even get a stimulus check. You can't even sit down and give the people a stimulus check.
The $1,400 that, according to the Biden team, will pay our bills through June or something, I think.
Bro, this is what I'm so glad we started this hashtag. I'm so glad it's a show because Americans are not thinking. Like, you're not thinking. This is basic civics economics. Seriously.
It's stupid. It's just downright stupid. Here's the thing. You wouldn't, if this was like their own money, they would not pursue it. But it's our money and they don't care. And that should piss off every American citizen. I do not know why we're all banding and fighting each other as Republican and Democrat, when in the real problem in this country and in this world is China. China is the problem. So China, listen, where COVID started, in a lab that was created, China. Yeah, that's what I said. They are the true enemy. Until Americans wake up and realize that we're not that much different and we're not, that far apart from each other and actually become unified as the United States of America and focus on the real enemy at hand, then that's when we can wake up. That's when America can think again. But right now, you have your head so far up your own booty holes that we can't even come up for air to breathe. And the biggest thing is right now, as a Republican and Democrat, you have to agree that our biggest threat to this country, you can't sit there and say it's Donald Trump. For those of you that are still talking about him, I'm starting to think you love him because you have this, like, it's almost like you've created this abusive relationship for yourself. And you're like, Donald Trump has hurt me so bad. Oh my God, he's just the worst. And then you keep calling him. You keep bringing him up. You're in a premeditated or pre-made toxic relationship with Donald Trump, and you're mad he's gone, and you just keep wanting him back. And now you're mad. And when in reality, he's not even the one hitting you. It's your neighbor. Your neighbor is the one hitting you. And your neighbor is China. And guess what? You're just like, oh my God, Donald Trump. Like, we are literally 3 months from the election. Your man won. He won. Why are you still obsessed with that man? I mean, I'm obsessed with him. But I don't know why you're still obsessed with him. That's what I don't get.
Shouldn't they be talking about all the good things that Biden is doing? His 52 executive orders. Why are we not go talk about those?
Because they're not good to talk about. I literally have people who cannot afford their insulin now, like pure fact. It was literally $45. It is $456. I had to do a prior auth. Got the prior auth. It came through. They still owe, with a coupon, $450, which was $45 a month ago. Wake up, America. What good has these executive orders done? Tell me blatantly what they've done. They're like, well, they made an executive order that makes it so you can't be xenophobic and towards the Chinese people. Hello? Why are you... Our focus right now is who can pee in what bathroom. Hello?
Yes.
That's the least of my concerns. Like today, James Charles released, and I don't know why. Here's the thing. I am pro-women. I am pro-equal to everybody. If you are actually a feminist, shame on you. Like this new generation feminist, shame on you. To sit there and promote transgender individuals in sports and sit there and tell them and totally degrade women for the past 60, 80 years, the strides that they've made to accomplish and become on an equal playing field. And you're going to sit there and try to tell me that this is good for women? Are you joking? Also, I just don't even want to, if we go into the statistics of white women and white men and look at the college degrees and the amount of doctors there are, I can guarantee you can look it up on any website. There are more females in each one of those categories than men. So I do not understand why there's still an argument.
Look, hashtag fuck it up. Chris, that's what this entire year is. Corey said it on my show. We were like, what do you think is going to happen from Joe Biden? He's like, all he's going to do is fuck shit up. So hashtag fuck it up. And I hope everybody learns their lesson from these next 4 years, because it's going to be a crap show. People are going to die. There's going to be so many dead people. Do you know how many people have diabetes, children, and they can't afford it? So many people are going to croak. It's not even funny.
Did you see today? I thought it was funny. You know, like the random news stories that like everyone's like, oh, why is this even relevant? In Russia, this is so stupid. They dug up 50,000-year-old animals and are extracting viruses from these animals.
In Russia.
Why would we be doing that right now? Did we not just learn our lesson to leave shit alone? Leave it alone. I feel like every day I wake up and go, wow, what's something stupid in the world's going to happen today? And then literally that's what
Something happens. Like people put Gorilla Glue in their hair.
Fulton County, I don't know if this is not in the mainstream media, they fired their elections director. Hello, pay attention. Wake up, America. Woohoo. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
back to the transgender thing. Where did I just see it? Yeah. So the woman the person that identified as a woman or had the change, she was considered the most celebrated LGBTQ member of society, whatever. In 2014, she bashed a woman's skull, broke her orbital bone in like 4 places, broke her skull. And all that they said after the fight was, and it was in 2014, was, well, that's what happens in fights. There's other women that have done it. But yes, you didn't used to be a woman. It's just, I'm for trans rights. If the rule is this: if I see anybody getting harassed, I'm on the side of the person that is being harassed. I will stick up for that person. But when you ask for things that are not fair, like the ability to run in a race or the ability to go in a bathroom, I don't get down with the whole like, yes, but they identify as, like, if you get picked on, if I'm in the men's bathroom and you're dressed up as a woman and you're transgender and you get picked on in that bathroom, I will beat the crap out of the person picking on you. However, for the most part in our society, unless you live in small ass towns, you're protected. The most conservative of people that I know are pro-gay rights. They will be there behind anybody that I know. It's a falsity to think that the conservative side hates homosexuality or hates transgenders. We just hate the hypocrisy of allowing certain things to go when we want to be pro-woman, yet now you've got a man that is fighting in women's fights because they've made a change. They can make a change. I don't care.
I don't know how many times I've said this, and one of the worst executive allowing the transgenders back into the military. I think it's worse. Oh my God. I think it is terrible. These people are supposed to be ready for combat. You are not able to go into combat if you're dependent on medication, hormones, all these things that you need in order to transition. I'm all for whatever you want to do, but there is a reason that, like, the military can't be your way to pay for your surgeries. I'm sorry, I just don't agree with that.
It's insulting, and I'm going to speak from a military spouse's perspective. Number one, if I wanted to go to the dentist, I'm going to pay at least 75% of my, whatever the cost is of my visit. I can't even get full dental coverage, but you can get all of your hormones covered. You can get your transition covered under TRICARE if it's deemed a medical condition, and it has been. So you're coming in and getting all these free things when soldiers are not even properly taken care of. They get fucking Advil and Tylenol when something is wrong or they're in pain. It's free healthcare, but it's trash, bro. It sucks going to the military doctor. I would rather go see a civilian than a lot of times go see an ER doctor, because it's just insulting.
Here's my
How
thing.
are you able to get like they're 1%? They're not even 1% of the population, bro.
Mm-mm. So someone said, Sleepless Minnesota said, Blake, this is your field. What is your opinion on identity as bathroom issue? Here's the thing to solve the whole freaking problem, which I don't know why we don't do instead of making it a big freaking national emergency. Make a male bathroom, make a female bathroom, and in the middle, make a whatever you want to do bathroom. How about that? And then we won't have a problem.
But here's the problem with that, though, is small businesses in some places were required to do that third bathroom, but not everybody that owns a small business can say, all right, I'm going to spend $10,000 or I'm going to spend $5,000 on making a third bathroom. That's not always an option.
Then make your bathrooms non-gendered at all. Don't make it male, female. Just put a bathroom on it. Because how many times do we go into a place where it's a gender fluid bathroom, like males and females can use it? So that solve the issue right there. Don't put genders on bathrooms.
So what if the bathroom's already made? Then you're also saying that they have to redesign their bathrooms. One's got urinals, one doesn't. So I'm posing the question to you. What about the grandfathered in places that do you force a business to spend money to placate a few?
Put in there gender non-affiliated bathrooms. Who knows? We live in a world of 2021. What's to say? Why are you sexualizing a urinal, Anthony? Maybe a girl wants to squat right up on that thing and let it dingle dangle in there. I don't know. We don't know. People do weird shit. They put Gorilla Glue in their hair. I don't know. People eat Tide Pods. So God knows. Let a girl sit on a urinal. If that's what she wants to do, then let her do it. She probably going to have some coochie germs after, but that's on her. That's how I feel.
I'm probably going to disagree with you on that one. I think keep bathrooms as they are. If you look enough like a woman and you know you do, go in the woman's bathroom if you're a man. Like that is where it's like if you can't tell, but if you've got a full beard, then you're already putting yourself through some difficulty. If you're a new construction or if you're a government building, absolutely add the third bathroom, whatever it might be. But when it involves a small business having to go out of their way and spend money that they don't necessarily have, especially after COVID, I don't believe in changing. I don't believe in changing things the way that they are.
Or you can have what I have. I have paresis where I have an irrational fear of using public bathrooms, so I don't use them, and therefore I don't have to choose what bathroom I go in. So if everyone could just not use a public bathroom, then we would cure it all. I mean, Joe Biden likes to make plans without having an actual, plan. So why don't we do that?
I want to look this up. That's a new stat. I've never seen that. So we spend $84 million for erectile dysfunction in the military.
I would love. Here, can you cite your source? And if it's NPR or CNN, I want another one.
By the way, you guys are going to laugh at this. I was told on that same argument the other day with the old friend that said that I've lost it, that CBS and New York Times is now he considers a centrist perspective. Just to be very clear, centrist. I thought that was comical. $84 million for erectile dysfunction. Here's the deal. Now, that's not people in the military. That's people that have gone to the military, probably have I'm assuming, have PTSD issues and are out of the military trying to carry on their own life and a normal life. To me, that's not, you're not trying to make sure people can stay hard while they're in the military. I think that's kind of weird. So my assumption is that we're reading incorrectly into this article. Shouldn't be allowed either.
Okay, so here, one thing I'm going to argue with you here, Peyton. Do you know what are some of the reasons that can cause erectile dysfunction in men? Not that it's necessary. I'm not saying you have to have an erection, but do you know what causes an erectile dysfunction? If you could put that in the comments for me. A predominantly majority of these people who have, is it from, Washington Post. I've read that article. Predominantly men who suffer from erectile dysfunction also suffer from PTSD.
Yeah. So
I don't think you can compare having someone pay for your transition transition surgery to the same thing as someone treating a medical condition. One's an elective and one's not an elective.
And if you say that getting an erection is elective situation, it's not. I mean, that's part of being a man and coming back to, real life. I don't know. It's like, all right, you got PTSD. You also can't get an erection. You can't be with a woman. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. Personally, I think it is. I think that is a worthwhile spend. $84 million is still a drop in the bucket of military spends. I do think that's a lot for one thing, but the fact is, when you fought for the country and you deal with, I will be totally honest, and I say this knowing Suni's here as well. If I had a son, I don't think I would allow him to go into the military knowing what all of my friends that have been in the military have gone through in terms of what their reacclimation back to real life. It's the percentages that are not can't 100% come back are terrifying to me.
Only 10% of that 84 million actually is given to active duty militants. It's for people who are no longer in the military. It's for people who are veterans who have served. And I'm sorry, I don't know if this offends anybody, and I don't even care if it does. But here's the thing: if someone went and fought and put their life on the line for this country, and they want to come home and be normal as possible, and they wanted to have an erection, I do not care if they need money to do that. They fought and risked their lives for my life, period. That's one thing. Here's the thing. I do not disagree that if you serve or if you have already transitioned, you should be able to serve. What I am saying is you should not be able to go in the military and literally solely only go in so that they pay for your surgery. That is all I'm saying.
They cannot 100% serve because they have what's deemed a medical condition and you don't deploy. I'm sorry. Everybody else has to deploy, so do you.
When they allow type 1 diabetics to get deployed, then I will agree to allow transgendered individuals who are on hormone therapies to serve. And until then, I don't agree with it, period. Guess what? They will never, ever, 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 ever allow a type 1 diabetic to ever serve.
Hell yeah. You see, I told you, right? You will get Motrin for everything, bro. They give you Motrin for everything. I could have went in there with a broke ass leg. Here you go, Motrin.
It looks like people are replying to be the change. Somebody might have that's on our account that we use might have actually said a comment, unless you're saying directly something that I said. So I don't know what was put up. So that might have just been a simple mistake. So I'm not sure what you guys are referencing per se. So sorry about that. But yeah, So anyways, all right. So let's wrap the show a little bit with Suni, were you able to get on the call with Cash?
He accepted my visit and then it just sat there and then it kicked me out. So I don't know.
It's such a frustrating.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Anyways, so let's talk a little bit about COVID. I
love it.
Since we got Blake on the show. So of course we've got people are starting to get their vaccines, their vaccinations. I continue to have first degree of separation from people having these conversations, but I now know of somebody that is older, approximately 90 years old, that has had both of their vaccines, and 2 weeks after the second vaccine shot, tested positive for COVID with a rapid test. Fun fact, the hospital is refusing a second test. He's got zero symptoms at all of COVID. He's got issues like congestive heart failure and some other issues of just being old and the situations that he's going through as that. But now on top of it, because he tested on a rapid test as positive, which as we know have a decent amount of false positives, they're refusing a second test, and he's now quarantined while he's not feeling well, while he's ill. And also his wife of 60 years is now quarantined separate from him. So now they can't see each other and they're both quarantined. And this is how we're treating our seniors. And this is how we're treating the concept of COVID. Now, to me, he sounds like he's just a number to that hospital and that doctor that's refusing the test. So when people ask, how can we possibly think that these numbers are inflated? Well, This is how we can think they're inflated. So, Blake, I know you've got a lot of dealings with COVID, obviously working in hospitals. What are your thoughts there, Big Cat?
So my personal opinion, and whoever watches this, whether people from my hospital or whatever watch this or share it with whoever, I have the personal, my body, my right to choose what I put in my body based on the left's rhetoric and mindset. Therefore, my body, my choice. My choice is to deny the vaccine. The reason I'm denying the vaccine for my personal opinions and personal beliefs is that I do not want to put something in my body that is not tested. And I'm not saying that mRNA vaccines are not tested. I'm not saying that. But what I am tested specifically to the COVID-19 vaccine, there is not enough research for myself. That is my personal opinion. What is personal for me might be different from you. And I am cool with, I don't talk crap about my friends who got the vaccine. Sure, do your thing. But I can guarantee you I have had multiple body based on the left's rhetoric. And what is personal for me might be different from you. And I am cool with, I don't talk crap about my friends who got the vaccine.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on.
Do your thing. I heard myself.
That was super weird. Sorry, my
quit screwing it up. Now I can't even remember what I was saying. Anyways, I have had multiple people come up to me and say, "You need the vaccine. You need to get that vaccine. You're not helping. You're not helping." Well, I wear my mask. I socially distance, and therefore, based on Dr. Fauci, I am good to go. So therefore, unless you're trying to come up in here and make out with me, you shouldn't have any problems. Therefore, how about you socially distance and back the F up and get away from me, because we need 6 feet. And if we're eating, that's 9 feet. So please remove yourself away from me. I have had multiple people shame me in front of people, shame me, when I don't even know why it's even anybody in the office's business in regards to my vaccine. It is a violation of HIPAA for them to release to the office that I am not vaccinated. If they continue to do that, I will take it to whoever I need to take it to, because it is my choice and my personal belief of why I don't want the vaccine. That is how I feel. Now, if you think it's good for you, good for you. It's not good for me. I'm a healthy 26-year-old, and I am not going to get it, period, until I know there's evidence behind it that I can trust. I want months of research. My parents didn't let me get the HPV vaccine right away because they wanted years of research. Guess what? When I turned 25 years old, I got the HPV vaccine. That's just, I trust science. I believe science. I just don't agree with political science. And that is what they're pushing. And so for all the healthcare people out there that say, you don't believe in science? You don't believe in science? Yes, I do. I don't believe in the political science that you're pushing. So quit pushing your political beliefs and your science on me, because I will fact check you and I will show you articles to back up why I believe what I believe. And that's on period.
And it's like with anything when it comes to science, it's the same stuff that we're seeing right now. It's where does science and where does money end? We talk about climate change. We talk about vaccines. We talk about hydroxychloroquine. We talk about ivermectin. We talk about all these things that, because it was inconvenient or against a political belief, it was poo-pooed, it was nay-nayed, it was thrown away. Climate change, for example. Climate change you can look at as an issue. You can also not. You look at the oh my God peoples, the doomsdayers, etc., and people say you have to believe the science. Well, science, according to Al Gore, means that we should all be underwater by now, according to, I believe, as though he won a Nobel Peace Prize or something. He won an Oscar. I can't remember what he won for that, but all these different things, like the vaccine, like everything we were being said and being kicked off of for saying things in April and May are actually correct. Hydroxychloroquine is being used right now as a early use or early detection of COVID stuff right now. So
I refuse to be a segment of the scientific method to a global pandemic virus. I refuse. I am not going to be a test subject. I'm not just going to be just a number because everybody else is doing it. I'm not doing it. And I'm not going to get shamed into thinking that I have to, because I personally don't believe in it. So I don't know why we have a thing that we've learned since I was probably in 4th grade of the scientific method of why things work the way they do in tests, in trials, in studies, in all of these things. And we have completely thrown that out the window because I get it. People are dying. I get that. But why would I have faith in putting something into my body as a healthy 26-year-old that there's not research about? How do I not know that from 5-10 years down the road that people are not going to have, atherosclerosis or, different things in their heart or something wrong with their veins? Or how do we know it won't weaken this? Or how do we not know it's going to speed up Alzheimer's? How do we not know if it's going to speed up dementia? How do we know if it's not going to make us have more heart disease? Listen, I just want to know. And they can't tell me it. So therefore, if they cannot tell me the long-term research, I don't want it. Period. I'm not going to be a part of your trial. If I was someone who was a part of a trial, say I had cancer or HIV or any of these diseases where I knew I was going to die, and if I could help further on science by doing something that's going to save my life, then hell yeah, I would do that. But listen, I'm not in that position, and I'm not going to sit here and just sign my name and get a vaccine on something that I'm not confident about and something that I don't have the evidence for. And that's just my belief. And there are other healthcare providers that love it. They love the vaccine. They didn't have any issues. But that's not me, and I'm not them. And it's okay for us to not agree. And that's just it. And I don't shame them for getting the vaccine. I don't talk crap about them. So I don't know why they feel so obligated to hound me and make me feel like an idiot or not intelligent just because I don't agree. And that's what makes me sick, is about pushing the rhetoric in this country. I'm pro-life. I'm not one of those people that go outside of an abortion clinic and scream at them and say, "What are you doing?" I'm not doing that. So why do you feel like your duty is to hound me? And if someone can give me that answer and tell me why they feel like my health is any of their damn business, sorry, I just will not accept it. I don't sit here and try to tell someone who has type 2 diabetes how many donuts they can eat. Eat your donuts, girl. It doesn't affect me. And here's the most disgusting thing that I think that I've heard come out of people's mouth that work in the healthcare. Doctors and nurses out there that have said, if you don't get the vaccine, I don't want to treat you because you did this to yourself. You did this to yourself. You're not taking the precautions that could have been prevented. You know what else can be prevented in this country? Heart disease. You know what else can be prevented? Type 2 diabetes. You know what else can be stopped? COPD. But guess what? My duty as a nurse and a healthcare personnel is to treat people no matter what, because that is my job. So as you individuals, and I've heard it come out of people's mouths, people I've worked with, you disgust me because doctors take an oath. Nurses, we don't take an oath, but we know the moral obligation when signing up for the profession. So if you're going to sit there and deny someone because they didn't take a COVID vaccine, then you better deny every single person that's ever come to the ER who has COPD and can't breathe and has smoked a cigarette. Because you don't get to determine who you treat and who you don't treat. Could you imagine right now if we said we weren't going to treat people with HIV? And they say it's self-inflicted, or they had sex or used a needle or whatever. Could you imagine? No, because that's not your place to judge how people treat or what you're supposed to do. Your job is your job. And if you can't show up, get out of the profession. And take it away, Anthony.
Oh no, that was a mic dropper. That was good, and I think that's part of it. We politicize it. We had Peyton saying we should have some right-wing doctors on the show, and somebody said we should have some left-wing doctors. That's the problem. I think some of the right-wing doctors aren't even right-wing. It's just
we're not allowed. We're not allowed to talk, Anthony. Do you not see if you guys look this up? They've paid millions of dollars to one of the hospital facilities in the United Kingdom of silencing people who wanted to publicly come out and tell their stories, and are paying them not to.
Money talks.
You get doxxed. Like, I'll probably get in trouble for talking about this, but I didn't, one, give any medical advice. Two, I said if COVID's vaccine's for you, it's for you. Three, it's just not for me, and that's just my personal opinion. And that's okay. I'm not telling people not to take it. I'm telling people to make their own decisions, as we should. Why are we? I don't get it. My doctor told me I'm healthy and he thinks I'll be fine no matter what. That's my doctor. And guess what? I'm going to take his advice.
Missy, I love you to death, and we've had these discussions about hydroxychloroquine since midsummer, early summer, whatever it was. So here's the deal with studies that we're learning. Studies just published. The keyword is published. That showed no benefit. Vitamin C and zinc. First off, I don't know if it just was a vitamin C and zinc thing, because then I could tell you, well, the hydroxychloroquine or azithromycin is the driver for that. So they probably might have done a study that shows that, but if it doesn't have the right drivers, it doesn't show. If they did use it, we've learned that there is not a single safe source of publishing or any of that this whole year. We've learned everything's bought and paid for. So just because one study isn't showing, they're using it again. The doctors that were using it all summer showed so much success in their early stage patients that it was worthwhile. Missy, you and I agree on a lot of different things, but for some odd reason, you don't drop the hydroxychloroquine having a positive effect. And it's got no harm to use it. And we still have not had a fair shake. So I don't know what this thing is, just because Z-Dog doesn't like hydroxychloroquine.
So aside from hydroxychloroquine, every single one of you watching the show should be taking vitamin D, unless you have some sort of other thing. All these studies have come out and said that 80% of people who have died from COVID-19, 80% had a vitamin D deficiency. That is, guys, that is astounding. That is literally astounding. That literally a vitamin that we all could take could drastically. Could you imagine if 80% of our deaths didn't happen due to vitamin D? I'm not saying that's going to cure them or they're not going to die, but literally 80% of them had a vitamin D deficiency.
Do you know what's crazy? I do a lot of research, as you know, Blake. I haven't heard that yet. I didn't know that. You would think that that's an important bit of information, but you know what the government doesn't actually make money off of is people not getting sick. Right
Correct.
Now, the big pharma medical agencies across the country, they make money. They are cleaning. The only people that are truly cleaning house besides big business right now is the medical world that is making sure to treat COVID patients. The insurance companies, all of this.
Here's my thing is, as a nurse, I learned in school that we need to be approaching medicine and how we treat things and as a holistic approach. What they don't tell you, and you didn't see it during this whole pandemic, is what you should be doing to prevent you getting really sick from COVID-19. They're telling you mask, social distance, telling you to stay inside. But they didn't tell you that by being active, controlling your weight, losing weight, becoming healthier, making healthier life choices, all of those things decrease your likelihood of dying from COVID-19. So these medical and healthcare professionals that just want to push vaccine, push all these different things, shame on you, because you're not looking at it as a holistic approach. You should be looking at it all these different things.
I want to say this because I know we might have some people that are like color obsessed. African Americans are the number one vitamin D deficient people on the planet. So they want to talk about how it's disproportionately affecting Blacks because their lack of access to healthcare. That's absolutely not true. Number one, we as African Americans are completely unhealthy. I know that for a fact. We eat junk food that's not good for us, fatty foods, pork, anything unhealthy, we eat it. I'm just saying. We also buy alcohol and cigarettes, which contribute to your health. So it's more of we need to have more of a personal accountability thing going on. If you're not healthy, you should look at yourself and wonder why you're not healthy.
I have
Don't blame the virus.
Two things to talk about with the race thing that I'm glad you brought up because I would have never even remembered this. So talking about unhealthy, do you know that 40% of African American men in this country have hypertension? 40%. I don't know if you guys know this, but with COVID-19, it causes your blood to become thick and it can cause blood clots. You have hypertension and you have the risk of blood clots. What does that equal? Death. Therefore, you're going to have a higher amount of people who are impacted by COVID when all of the things are lining up perfectly to impact the individuals that are suffering from underlying conditions such as hypertension. And to make this problem even better, they're pushing for this. I read this in an article today. They want black doctors to treat black patients. They want white doctors to treat white patients. That makes zero sense to me. I don't care if you're Asian, black, Indian. I don't care if you're Napoleon. I don't care where you come from. If you're the best freaking doctor, I want you. I don't want my doctor to be determined based on the color of my skin. There are some great ass black doctors. And if they're better than the white doctor, I want them. I don't want that to be determined in healthcare. And that's just setting a precedent that I do not want to deal with. I just don't.
Beverly, can you let me know what rants are over the top and not factual from very factual people? And Misty, to be clear, I'm not arguing. I think I saw you say something about we're not talking about hydroxychloroquine. You're just talking about zinc and C, which I agree. Zinc and C are just kind of buffers. That's correct. And if somebody's actually sick with COVID, that's not enough to get it into the cellular membrane. So that's what the whole purpose of azithromycin, hydroxychloroquine, they're drivers. They're drivers to put it in. But I am very curious what Beverly is talking about. Beverly sounds
I have a question.
Yeah.
So everybody on this panel has
my bad
presented factual information. Blake studies, I study, Russo studies, and we all do this for a living. When you say these rants aren't factual, a lot of times we can put a negative connotation behind rant. I've done it. So I'm putting myself out here for a second. But when you rant, it's literally your thoughts clicking and moving, and you make sense. And you do get excited and passionate about something when you can see people acting completely irrational. When you watch doctors not do their job, in Blake's case, or in my case, when you sit here and you observe the world and everybody is not fucking thinking, and then you look at our government, things that are happening, what's being allowed to happen, and then the people hop on board with everything that's wrong, it's frustrating because you know the truth. There are people here that could recognize what's going on. So for if we have to go on rants to wake people up, people should be absolutely okay with that. Nothing said here tonight is nothing that can't be fact checked. So instead of being like, it's not factual and presenting zero facts behind how it's not factual, fact check me. Tell me your argument back.
Tell me one thing I said that was false. Do you want me to go into why I think the number one thing that we should be praying for in this country right now, besides all the COVID stuff and all the COVID deaths, is our kids? Because our cure for COVID is killing our children.
Facts.
Killing them. And the teachers that don't want to go back to school, even though they've been vaccinated, are killing our children. There is crime rates that are up. Guess who's involved in those crimes? Because the parents are out working. And guess who's in these gangs that are getting initiated? Like Cash, who didn't know good from bad, who are going out into the streets in Chicago and in New York and are getting a part of these gangs, getting in the wrong thing, doing the wrong things at the wrong time, and it's literally ruining the system. Kids are killing themselves. 1 out of every 3 American children literally have thought about suicide in the last 30 days. So if you want to sit here and tell me about the cure-all, tell-all, get vaccinated, listen, our cure for COVID cannot be worse than the implementations that we're putting in to cure it.
I think I said that about 7 months ago when they started closing the schools down. First off, Blake, you did say one thing in this show that I think if I fact checked would be incorrect. When Cash was on the line, you said that you are dark downstairs and over 8.25 inches. So that remains to be fact checked. Besides that,
my question is, are you going to be the one fact checking, or how does this work?
I'm going to send Kelly downstairs.
All right, Kelly, come on down. The price is right.
With that said, though, you look at, and we're wrapping it up real quick, but in terms of Biden was just his team just had a whole segment on the fact that they are reopening schools where they plan on having at least 1 day a week where students are back in school within the next 100 days, which to me is still absolute and utter bullcrap. We've got a teachers union that has decided to butt back against real science and butt back against the lives of children. If you're a teacher and you're young, get back to school. If you're healthy.
Why you keep saying butt back?
Did I say butt back? Whatever. Who cares?
I don't know. It was like
you and your fenced in backyard. Anyways,
oh my gosh. People commented earlier, yes, I did get a house. I'm super excited. The biggest feature that I love is it's a fenced-in backyard and my dogs can run. That is why I'm happy. I don't even care if I have... No, I'm not even going to say that because it'll happen. So I'm just not going to say it. I was going to say I don't even care if I don't have heat because that'll happen to me. So I'm just not going to say it.
Yeah. So and that's the other thing. They're saying the majority of schools. So that's actually an accurate statement. It's just over 50%. Right now, to me, there is zero reason why we should not have kids 90% back in schools. We've got depressed kids. And I said this before. I said this in September when they're talking about holding the kids or keeping the kids out. And this was the biggest issue I had. Actually, it might have even been in June at the end of last school year, is if you are such a bleeding heart Democrat or bleeding heart, whatever you want to call yourself, leftist, and you're worried about inner city kids, you're worried about people of color, you're worried about minority kids, everybody's getting hurt. You know who's getting hurt the most right now? The kids are going to be the most behind are the ones where the parents all have jobs. The school district already sucks. They don't have the materials like the iPads in order to actually have these classes, nor do they even, that's not the way they learn anyways. They don't care because that's not the way if you haven't grown up around technology, you're screwed. So the people that are most behind are the people of color, are the kids that are in minority households, etc. So if you care that much, tell the teachers to go the F back to school, period. Tell the administration, get them back to school. I don't guarantee you, I don't want to say that. It's whatever, too much. I would bet that if Trump was in office right now and Betsy DeVos was still running the schools, which I hated her as a pick in the very beginning, came to actually very much like what she did for schools across the country, school choice, etc. We had that administration in there right now, we would be fully going back to school or forcing it down their throats, period. Right now, we got 100 days to get to 50% and to have kids going, and they're counting it if they go 1 day a week. It's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's dangerous, too.
And here, a lot of you want me to cite my sources for you. Here you go.
Bitch, I am the source.
Right here.
Hold on, what is he doing?
I'm the link.com. Yep.
It's true, though. It's thousands. There's hundreds and thousands of articles that I read. Not thousands, but I can probably read up to 50 fucking articles in a day to get to the truth. So if you want a link, I don't have one besides my brain. So if you want to take that, I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
going to end my kind of portion of the show with the argument. I went back and forth with, if you guys saw the post where my old friend, my old best friend, like top 3 best friend from elementary school, middle school, high school, just commented and dropped the mic and walked away and said, "You've lost it," when I was talking about the impeachment. Him and I had a discussion about it. We went back and forth 15 hours later. And ultimately I go, I haven't lost it. I'm allowed to have a difference in opinion. And he goes, "Well, where do you get your sources?" And I said, my sources are this. And this is the best explanation that I can give to people is I look at mainstream media. I look at both sides. I look at source material from the internet. If anything stirs at my emotions, it's probably got a spin. Lean is one thing. A spin is something different. So if you're emotionally connected to an article based on the headline, that means there's probably some bullshit in it. So then you start cross-referencing. You try to find the opposite side. Yeah, you go to www.imthelink.com. You look at both sides. You look at the fact check articles. Go to the fact check articles, not because they're accurate, but because usually the subtext will give you an explanation. And then from that point, you actually have to use logic. You can't take an article for what it's worth. So you use logic. And that's the best that I can tell you. And that's the best source. And to that, he said, because I said, look, you look at Fox News, you look at CNN, you look at a little bit of Newsmax even, you look at actually, I really like The Blaze, to be honest. I know that's super conservative, but they do some decent reporting. And Epoch Times, then you go far left and you go CBS, you go NBC News, you go MSNBC. You look at all of the different sources and you find an actual middle ground. Once you hit that middle ground, see Sunni loves, oh God, pickle jars. We're back to pickle jars. Here we go. But you ultimately, that's the way to find it. his response to me was, you should find a centrist or middle ground point, which is, he suggested Reuters, which I'll give as a somewhat close center, AP, which is no longer center in any way, shape, or form, New York Times, which is what I'm starting to consider far left, and CBS, which is the heart of mainstream media, which is left. Fact is, I'll still look at them. It's not that I don't look at these. I just know that I can't take it for the salt that it lands on. And you look at the actual articles, and he goes, how can I make New York Times out to no longer be centrist? I go, find one article that has a positive conservative side. If it's not there, then they're no longer centrist. And this is where we ended our conversation, because he laughed at me. And I said, okay, I've spent way too much time trying to explain to you common sense, is the fact that I said, and if this is the truth, in my opinion, Fox News in the last 3 months has become the most centrist media that I've seen, not because their shows are centrist, but because they have a balance. They've got some shows with people from the left. They've got some shows that have a left lean. They've got some shows that have a right lean, and they've got spins, which I don't like the spins. But fact is, if you want to actually have a network that has a little bit of both, it's Fox. Are they perfect? No, nobody's perfect. Go ahead, Blake.
So I got this great, while we're on the show, I got a message from Michelle. She says, just watch your stream about gender neutral bathrooms, and I want to bring up this idea. My whole entire life, buildings doesn't have to update their buildings if they were made before a certain date. And she believes it's the 1970s. So to update the bathrooms, gender neutral people, when the disability community can't have wheelchair ramps, is insane. Fact. There are so many mom and pop shops out there that are not handicap accessible. Are they required by law? No, because they're grandfathered in. So why are we, here's the thing, handicapped people cannot control that they're handicapped. They can't. Why aren't we focusing on that? And here's another.
Suni, you got any final words?
I would have a question for your friend, because he said, he's pretty much saying you can't have your own thought. And if you do have your own thought, you need to back it up with mainstream media. And I want to know, since when has that become the standard for knowledge, or like being able to put two things together? Why do you need mainstream media to back you if you can see what you're saying for yourself? That's weird way. That's a weird way of thinking. That's almost saying don't think and look to the news to tell you, and then regurgitate everything they said to you. So when did the mainstream media just become the new standard for like everything? All of our thoughts. That's my question.
It's a great question.
Another thing, guys, I'm not just saying this because we run it, but there's more than just me that posts the news on Primetime Patriots. If you can find me one thing that we've posted besides like a funny meme that isn't factual, send it. If that is factual, send it to me. Let me know. I would love for you to do that, because even the Facebook fact checkers haven't fact checked any of it since something about our math was wrong. That's what they fact checked us about the deaths per year was the only thing they fact checked us ever about. So if you can send me something, I would love to hear it. But until then, I'm the link dish.
Well, that's about all I got for you guys. Don't forget, tomorrow we've got Change Makers. Make sure you join us tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Eastern time. I've got a busy 2 weeks as we've got the Breakthrough Accelerator as we're finalizing and trying to put our pitches together for that. Again, if you'd like to support us on the bottom, I know we had a couple super chats during this show. Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. But with that said, we're trying to start transitioning away. So Venmo and Cash App, Be the Change USA. And ultimately, if you want a little bit extra, patreon.com/Be the Change USA. You can't search it by Be the Change USA. You actually have to put in the actual link. So it's patreon.com/Be the Change USA. We did have a Zoom last week where Cash was able to sneak in there real quick and join for a little bit of it. So that gives you some other benefits. I also do Motivational Mondays and some other comments throughout the week. Would love to have you as one of our Patreons. Don't forget, these t-shirts are for sale on the website. These go to Cash, as well as all of our Be the Change stuff, which I'll probably we're trying to clean out the store a little bit on that. So go to #BeTheChange.com. Primetime Patriots also has a website for their gear, which I just ordered some of at.
Guys, Anthony just bought
Yeah.
leggings, so he should have them by the end of this week. So he'll be rocking those out. I don't know if you guys have TikTok, but those leggings that make your booty look big, Primetime Patriots make your booty look big too. So if Anthony is not in those on Friday, I want everyone to send him a special request. Hit up the Be the Change inbox, ask for a photo shoot of Anthony in the Primetime Patriots gear, because we should start a listen. We want to do a fundraiser for cash. We'll do bids. We'll do some bids to see Anthony in some yoga pants. I'm just saying, I think it'd be a great one. Misty,
They're
do you
small.
have the
They're not-
leggings? Does she have the leggings? If someone has the leggings, can you send us a picture with you in them? Because I don't know anyone who has them yet.
Kelly said she'll do it once she gets them. All right.
Ooh, she gonna make the A real big.
Oh, sweet heavens to Betsy. All right, Blake. It was good seeing you guys. Marla's got some 3 on the way. You guys are doing awesome. You guys are killing it. So, referring to specific guy refusing to do the. Oh, so she wanted this. I saw her say this. He can't name the doctor that was saying this, but so if you don't know, Blake is a nurse. So he works in that he works in these situations, and he's actually heard that being used. So there is no medical source except for firsthand knowledge, like the person next to him that he talks to that's a doctor. So there's no source because he is the source. So what is the Patreon?
Some like to call me a whistleblower.
Jesus Christ. The Patreon is patreon.com. You can see it on the bottom of the screen right now. It's patreon.com/be the change. It's coming up right now. Patreon.com/be the change USA. There you go. Suni's on her way out. She's out of here. See you later, Suni. Middle child. Thank you guys. Again, share this episode. Tammy wants to see me in leggings. You're welcome, America. Go ahead. Did you go ahead?
I'm out, bitches.
Thank you guys. Remember to share, like the page, etc. We'll see you guys again sometime soon.